Why is it so hard when you're feeling emotional or been out of shape or whatever? Why is it so hard? Why can't we just figure out the problem and change ourselves?
So, by problem, I think you're talking about the situation that's causing you to feel been out of shape
Yes.
and not the problem that you have a feeling about it.
Well, that comes after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to clarify that, but I'm being kind of a smartass in my question back to you about it because it's usually not the situation itself that's the problem. It's usually how we feel about it that's causing the problem. Yes, there are terrible things that happen to us, and things that would cause any of us to feel bad. There's no doubt about that. But a lot of that stuff we don't have any control over. And that brings up a whole different set of feelings, not having any control over it. So often the only thing that we do have any control over is how we feel about it. And I know that sounds really overly simplistic, and it really irritates me when I hear kind of people kind of talk about this and says you only have control over how you feel, and you can think positive, and you can control your feelings and control your reactions, and that whole thing irritates me because it's kind of asking people to ignore a really legitimate feeling about things that happen to us and the people that we love as part of this human experience. It doesn't make sense not to have feelings about those things. So the question is, so it's not about trying to control those feelings, even though I use that word. It's learning how to work with those feelings in a way that allows them to release or loosen or bring us enough ease so that we don't feel like so we don't feel like we're in a victim position to the situation. So it's not about trying to think positively because you think you're supposed to do that because your culture says so. It's about how to bring more ease and empowerment to myself by learning how to work with the feelings that this situation has triggered. And doing that and learning how to do that brings us such a great sense of empowerment because that can be applied to anything that happens in life. So we stop being reactors to life and start being people who can flow through life and its challenges and hardships with more ease and more perspective, and actually allows us, and actually those situations can, and learning how to work with the feelings that they trigger can offer us an opportunity for a deeper spiritual experience and a deeper spiritual knowing. When you're scared to death and like a deer in headlights, you're not a very open channel to receive divine guidance. But when you can, we all have had these experiences where when we are brought to our knees and surrender, and where it gets so scary that we can't control it, and we realize that we can't control it and we can't fix it, those are perfect times and beautiful times to let go. And that's what emotional releasing does, is help you let go so that then you're receptive to the peace that's always here. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.